Hello, this is Jess. It's Saturday, December 9th, chat session number 39. Going to go right into our tidbits of history. Going to start with 1992. 1,800 United States Marines arrive in Mogadishu, Somalia to spearhead a multinational force aimed at restoring order in the conflict-ridden country. The reason why they were sent is there was major drought in the area, and then the people that were in power, there became a struggle, and the major civil war broke out. A lot of different factions were trying to gain power, and all the way up from the 70s all the way up until the 80s. There was major issues. There was at one point over 300,000 Somalians had died of starvation through 1991, and the Civil War itself had killed over 50,000 other people. The war, some of the factions, they wouldn't allow food to be distributed to the people, and that's why they all starved to death. They did go in and restore order enough to get supplies distributed through the military, different countries participating. But I think Bill Clinton ordered the withdrawal of all the American troops by 1994, after some rebels had shot down some of our Black Hawk helicopters and killed numerous soldiers that were involved in those helicopters. And then the people here in the United States watched as they drugged one of the dead Marines through the street, and that caused the reaction by our government of the 90s, which would be Bill Clinton, to withdraw troops, and all the other countries followed suit. The United Nations is still involved in Somalia. There's still fighting going on currently, but it's been subdued. There was a lot of resolutions that have been passed trying to downplay the violence, but it's still, Somalia is a real hot spot in our world right now concerning the violence towards Americans, and that's where we are on that, and that was 1992. And now we're going to go to 1835. Inspired by the spirited leadership of Benjamin Rush Milam, the newly created Texan Army takes possession of the city of San Antonio, an important victory for the Republic of Texas in its war for independence from Mexico. There had been a major victory in Goliad, and one of the Texas Army had defeated the troops in Goliad, and around that same time Santa Anna had overthrown the Republic of Mexico, and had decided he was going to put an end to this rebellion that was happening up north. And after Goliad, this person, Benjamin Rush, returned after a scouting mission back to the troops in the Texas Army after he had renounced his citizenship to Mexico because of Santa Anna, and wanted to go ahead and go on from there to fight and take over San Antonio. Well, when he came back from the mission, his reconnaissance mission, he found out that some of the generals they were going to wait the winter out and then try to take the city of San Antonio in the spring. But after a big speech that he gave to the troops, he did get enough people involved. They were inspired by his talk, and they went down, and over from the December 5th to December 9th, there was major battles around the San Antonio area, and eventually the Mexican generals that had occupied San Antonio fled, and this led, of course, to Santa Anna coming up in the Alamo, the whole thing. This is where it all started, the big thing in Texas. Remember the Alamo stuff. That came in the spring, and Benjamin Rush was taken out by a sniper on December 7th, so he wasn't alive to see this victory. But if he had been, he would have been one of the people that were doomed to their death in the Alamo. And so that's the history today, tidbits of history, 1835 and 1992 on this date. Excuse me. Having a little bit of congestion. I am taking antibiotics. I possibly have a little infection in my surgical area, and so they have me on antibiotics, and I guess it's flushing out my lungs too, so you have to pardon that. It's about 10:30 at night on a Saturday night, and enjoyed the format or the stuff that we spoke on chat session number 38 with space and stuff. But now I'd like to go ahead and add in that over the year I've with Anita, I watched The Sopranos, the full series. That was my third time actually to go through that. I really like that series, The Sopranos. If you haven't ever watched it, I would recommend it. It's entertaining. And the way they ended it was a big turmoil, or whatever, not turmoil, but a big topic of conversation for months after on how it ended. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but you should watch it. I've also am in season 8 of Friends, and there's a show called Mad Men. It's about an ad agency from the 60s. It's a pretty decent series. I'm in season 3 of that. And of course, I like the Andy Griffith Show. I'm on season 3 of that as well. And I'm one episode away from finishing the Iron Fist. It's a Marvel. It's a Netflix. I think they created it, but it's a halfway decent series. Sort of cheesy, but there's only one season of it. And we're on me and Anita have watched 1 through 12, and we're going to finish it out. There's only 13 episodes, so one more to go on that, and that'll be completed. And then over the course of the 2017, I've seen numerous documentaries on nature, the ocean, the earth. They were basically most of those were one season long, with some of them having 4 episodes, some of them having 25 episodes, just different things having to do with nature, animals. Enjoy that kind of stuff, and also a lot of history documentaries. I found out that from doing these 39 chat sessions. I'm a history buff. I enjoy reading up on this stuff and then trying to present it here on this video. But I'm learning a lot of stuff about dates and when things happened. So it's a knowledge thing for me too. I want to know as much as I can about things. Pretty cool. I should be released from my doctor concerning this surgery and the stuff that was going on. I get my final checkup on Wednesday, this coming up Wednesday, and if everything's, from all the extractions and stuff that they did on me, hopefully everything is clear. My lymph nodes, that kind of stuff. Pretty painful little incision they made to remove those lymph nodes for biopsy or whatever, but man, it's this tender area. I'm hoping that everything comes back good. It's Christmassy. It's Christmas time. Merry Christmas holidays. Happy Christmas holidays to everybody. Like I said, it's the 9th. Had a lot of snow south of us, and I'm talking about deep south. Here where we are, we thought it was snowing. We saw like 10 or 15 snowflakes. But down south, 3 or 4 hours down the highway there, they got 3 or 4 inches, 5 inches of snow. My son sent pictures, and Anita's sister, even more south, maybe 6, 7 hours south from here. They also had real nice snow and very cold weather. Sort of odd, but it's all past now. It's melted down, and there was enough snow to make snowmen, that kind of stuff, which is unusual for way down south like that. But that's nature, and looking forward to Sunday. We got a lot of football games. I did my week 14 predictions, and I missed the first game, which was Thursday night. I missed it. I picked the Saints, New Orleans Saints, to beat the Atlanta Falcons, but the Atlanta Falcons held on and won it with a field goal in the last minutes of the game. That's how those two teams always play each other. But looking forward to this upcoming tomorrow. A lot of good games. The playoff separation begins. The teams that are going to go are starting to get in line. It's becoming more clear with their records who's going to be in the playoffs on their way to hopefully a Super Bowl championship. And we're going to end it here. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Have a great Saturday evening, and go Seattle.